Let's get one thing straight. This wasn't supposed to happen. None of this should have happened, or even could have happened, based on what the biodome complex technology was designed for originally. I had no part in its turn from experimental to malicious. I'm sure I'm not the first horse to say that, but it's what I believe is true. Doesn't that count for something? Even now it seems weird talking about it, telling you about it. It's eerie. It brings back memories I would rather not ever have to replay in my mind. I don't think it's something you really want to hear either. But here you are, asking me to continue, nodding, urging me forward. But you don't know. You don't know at all what we went through on there. We were sent out of our planet to test the biodome software, to see if it was sustainable and if we could thrive as a scientific, intellectual community within it. Initially, it seemed as though the mission would be short and positive, but very quickly it became clear to us that it had encouraged more than just our sustenance and survival. It encouraged discovery, which is not necessarily a negative thing, but in our case, it was overwhelmingly detrimental. The Biodome Living Complex was supposed to provide an exterior home for all horses who wanted to participate in an alternative lifestyle. It allowed for them to live outside the already overcrowded planet we inhabit, yet not have to adapt to an overwhelmingly different habitat. Copernicus told me after spending a few days interacting with this technology that the software designers had purposefully incorporated a few hopefully noticeable flaws into our landscape to make sure we weren't just goofing around amongst the stars. They created the general surroundings and atmosphere to be at a larger scale than what we were used to, and that was obvious as soon as we stepped inside the Biodome spacecraft. Another subtler flaw that Tesla pointed out to me later in the mission was the climate. The weather was supposed to change on a cycle, but it seemed erratic and random. It never impacted our communication technology in the control room, fortunately. I have to admit, though, Archimedes and I were both irked that there was no physical control panel. The advancements made in the past few years concerning syncing parts of the brain with new software was truly incredible, and was another aspect of the beta testing we were asked to investigate. The headsets they gave a couple of the crew members allowed them to maneuver what usually would have been a couple large LCD screens and dozens of panels to control what was being shown on them. On this mission, we only had the LCD screens, and the fact that only a few crew members were able to control what was being shown on them was a little unsettling for me at first. Later, Archimedes explained to me that these crew members had undergone extra training in order to be mentally equipped to harness said technology. That's about the only thing I can laugh about regarding that mission. I was so annoyed over something I wasn't capable of utilizing, even if I did have it in my possession. It seems ridiculous now that that was the most unnerving thing to me, now being able to take into consideration what happened after the first stage of the mission. The entire purpose of the mission wasn't just to test out the beta technology. The reason we didn't have a software specialist up there with us was because all the crew member slots were filled with scientists and analysts. The Biodome complex allowed us to spend extended periods of time in space, therefore allowing more information to be harvested, scrutinized, and implemented into other scientific projects back on the home planet. The variety of experts we had on board was initially a little confusing considering how new and convoluted the analysis equipment was to us, but it soon became clear why Mission Control had selected each specific crew member. I'm not stupid enough to claim that I should be absolved from all blame and guilt. I could have prevented the transition from even occurring if I didn't have my muzzle buried so deeply in my own research. I was on the brink of breakthrough, and if you understand what that feels like, you wouldn't cut off your progress to babysit some unruly crew member. I made my decision. There's no way I could go back and change anything. I just wish I could. I wish there was something I could do about it. You're asking me if I think it was worth it? Don't ask me that. Ask the horses who lost their lives on that mission. Ask them if it was worth it. Ask their families, ask their friends, ask their partners and loved ones. Don't ask me.